Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Factorio Bob's Angels. Now only a couple of episodes away from episode 60. So this episode I wanted to get sorted the final bits of armor. So we're going to get to the final tier. We're 2 tiers away from it, so I kind of mess around in the episode trying to get there. We also do a bit of upgrading. So on to what I've done in between the episodes. I've done 2 things. Did a load of solar and accumulator, but you can also see there I'm just deleting the last of the old logistics storage area because I've moved it. I've made it much bigger and I brought it over here to where all the logistics stuff are done, so I thought it made a bit more sense. I kind of wanted to start it before the episode though, because it was going to take absolutely ages and I was probably going to have power issues in the middle, so I'd have to keep stopping. But we got to that last bit there and I just wanted to have that at the start of the recording because it is pretty impressive watching all those bots just go mental. So one of the things I wanted to set up this episode just to give them a go was the laser combat robots, just to give them a go, see if they work any better than my previous experiences. Previously, I've always preferred the destroyer drones, so we'll see how that goes. But we set up production for those, and then if I don't like them, I don't have to use them, but we'll see. We'll give them a test and see what happens. I used to experience them. They'd die very easily because of the way they would move. They'd get targeted by the spitters and the worms and everything when I run in because of they move a hell of a lot faster than the destroyer capsules. But yeah, we'll give it a go and see if it's any different. One of the things we checked there was just to see why destroyer capsules were being a bit slow, and it's due to a lack of delivery of the old classic batteries. So I come along and get that belt upgraded. It's not even filling a full yellow belt, so clearly there's something else wrong as well, but we might as well get the belt up to green, get the chemical plants upgraded, and change our upgrade planner to do the inserters as well. We're just going to do a full upgrade, get some full-on efficiency going in there. I'm going to start putting out the green modules, 1 green module in every beacon. I'm not going to go and do all the ones I've already done yet. I'll do that at some point. Just any new ones we're putting out and any ones that I can be really bothered to go and change. We'll get those upgraded, but we also get the input products done for the batteries. The plastic's pretty much done. That's right next to where plastic comes out. So that input is already green. But lead is still running on steel smelters. So I wasn't really planning on doing any smelters this weekend, but still having rows of smelting using coal isn't exactly great. So we deal with a lot of that this episode. But yeah, I do lead first. We get that all put in. We have a quick clean out of our inventory as well, because it is getting a bit messy with all of the crap we keep picking up. I keep doing stuff with bots, and I got my personal roboport on, so yeah, it gets a bit messy. So we take a copy of one of the other smelting columns. I mean, I really should have the smelting layout in Foreman, but to be honest, this is the last place I'm going to use it. Once we've done tin, yeah, I'm not really going to be using this layout. For any future smelting ideas I've got, it's going to be either loaders or stack inserters. As far as I'm aware, tell me if I'm wrong, stack inserters are faster than loaders if it's container, from container to container, but obviously to a belt, a loader's going to be the fastest. So yeah. Any of the future smelting outposts that I'm thinking of doing, yeah, it's going to be pretty much pure loaders or stack inserters. So we get that green belt upgraded all the way back to the lead and tin buffer warehouse. I probably should take that all the way up to the sorting area, but that can be for another day when it really becomes an issue. Past me needs to not get too distracted and focus on the issues at hand. So one of the things I mentioned last episode that I wanted to have a look at this time were the Mark II and Mark III pumps. So I get the research done for that extremely quickly. We look at upgrading the petroleum pipe buffers, I guess you could call them, but we also get the acid done as well, because that's one of the things slowing down batteries. There's just not enough sulfuric acid coming through. And to be honest, it's quite good we're getting the sulfuric acid batteries upgraded, because we've got absolutely tons of sulfuric acid. So it'd be nice to get using that a bit. There's absolutely tons in the logistics system now, because we're not slurring as much all that slag. In fact, I think we're not slurring any slag, and the amount going through to crushed stone is nowhere near as much as we're producing in the Angel sorting area, which is fine. I don't mind having more of it than not enough. There was a period where we didn't have anywhere near enough of it while we were trying to get through those stockpiles of slag, but now we've pretty much depleted all of our stockpiles of slag, which is great. We've turned it all into ores and stuff. But yeah, again, referring to these future projects, we're going to have a huge amount of crushed stone for what I have planned. So we get the blue plastic pipes in for the sulfuric acid again. I've recorded this before last episode even went out, where I asked if this was even a good idea, but I'm sure with the upgraded pipes, upgraded pumps, it can't hurt too much. So one of the things I got done while in between recordings, just while clearing up that logistics system, is to make sure I'm requesting the highest tier of RoboPorts and getting those upgraded. I also quickly set up production of the large charging pads because it only took me a minute or two. You can just see it down there, making the 4 tiers of the charging pads and making sure going around updating those, because one of the biggest issues with moving the logistics system was not having enough charging capacity for all of the construction robots. So that's another thing that has been automated. So I know I've done this before, but I kind of felt the need to get it in the episode anyway. It's just part of the preparations for episode 60 is getting all of the equipment set up again after I cleared this area. My original plan was to clear the area and set up a lot of this outside of the episode, but that then went and immediately clashed with my vow to stop doing as much as I can in between episodes. So I thought, let's just have it in the recording. Why not? And I know I'm not really going to be using masses of this stuff. It just means that if I ever want to come and set up a new piece of power armor, I've just got everything made in the factory. And to be honest, collecting all the things to make these manually is a right bit of palaver, as we'll see with the power armor. Anyway, there are various points in the episode where I'm requesting the things to make the next tier of power armor, one of which are the speed and effectivity modules. I always get the efficiency and effectivity ones mixed up, but we haven't got the highest tier of those being produced, so we come and set that up as well. It is going to be needed for various products like the reactors, and I think the shields and stuff use them as well. We get an attack alert up north at the Sapphirite, which I will sort out once I've got the power armor done. I just want to try and ignore it until the most absolute late point. That doesn't really make any sense now, does it? But anyway, we carry on ignoring the attack alerts up there. And we just come and have another look again at why certain modules are taking so long. And it's just lack of solder. The amount of solder we're going through is absolutely mental. So I go down and just see if I can do something more to just make sure that belt's fully saturated. And I do something I was really trying to avoid doing, but I don't really have a choice. But that's to get loaders in on these to fill the belts. It'll always saturate the belt a lot nicer. Like I was saying earlier, loaders are better when going to belts, and stack inserters are better going from container to container. We'll see if I'm right or wrong about that, but that's how I've always felt about it usually. We just make sure we're getting enough solder plates. And I also put resin and solder plates into the logistics system from the belt. I now have an inserter there doing it for me, but I should really take that out and have the loader do it, because I'm going to get some solder made up here with what I intended to do was with stack inserters. I then put a loader in and then realized what I was going to talk about was the whole loader stack inserter thing. But yeah, we get the bots to bring up some of those products just so we can try and just increase the solder without having to put another belt in the bus. And because the bots are getting pretty good and efficient now, it won't hurt to have them bringing up that a little bit. But yeah, that'll just get a bit more solder into the logistics system. Electric engines also were a bit slow on the running legs, so I thought I might as well come and upgrade this area. Now the belts, will never be able to deliver enough resource to feed these completely. I could probably get a second iron pipe assembler in there somewhere, but that would break my stupid messy rule of adding an assembler in below the certain row, which is just stupid. I should just add it in anyway, because I can't get productivity modules in on the iron pipes, but I kind of wish I could. But I'd have to go and change the config file in Bob's, and yeah, I don't really want to change that. I like things being a little bit difficult. Anyway, we come back to have a look at the solder plate just to make sure that's okay. We've got raw productivity in there. I do upgrade them to chemical, what are they called again? Multi-electronic purpose furnaces. And do I get the raw productivity upgraded in those after upgrading the buildings, or have I done my classic thing of doing the raw productivity first and then upgrading the building and forgetting that it adds more module slots? So that's a bit stupid. Then the shortfall becomes the tin plate. So we come up and I, discover the inevitable, but that is also on steel furnaces as well. So I can't really ignore it. And I go and place out an electronic row, getting it one space too far down to begin with, which is just sacrilege. We can't have that. So I, delete it all and get it all lined up properly. And I'm not bothering with the 3 belt output. I just leave it on the 2. That should be more than enough for now. And again, we upgrade the belt output from the buffer warehouse. But yeah, we could probably get that belt done all the way up to the sorting area. I've been tempted to delete the entire sorting area and start again because it's just a horrible mess. And I don't like looking at it, but it works at the moment. And to be honest, I can ignore it for now. It works. It's just an excessive use of belts. But yeah, that sorting area will only ever be for the main bus. There'll be whole new outposts set up for future products. We'll get dedicated area for things like iron, copper, etc. But yeah, we'll go into that in the future after the live stream this weekend. So my plan was to have episode 60 before the live stream and the rocket launch, but I've realized at the rate I'm uploading episodes at the moment, that episode is going to fall on Sunday, and I can't really do the live stream before sorting out that area up north. So I have two choices: either have episode 60 come out a day early, but then I thought people might not have time to see it before I do the live stream if they are coming to watch the live stream. So then I thought maybe I could do episode 60 actually in the live stream. So start the live stream off and spend a couple of hours just doing biter slaying up north while people just come along and join if you want to come and watch, and then maybe do the launch a couple of hours into the live stream. I don't know. I've not really got a massive plan for Saturday and how I'm going to do it. I still need to do a test to make sure everything's working. But yeah, I'll either decide, or if anyone's got any good suggestions, I'll probably end up doing episode 60 in the live stream. But yeah, it depends on how much time I get this week and so on and so forth. But yeah, another thing I couldn't decide on was whether to do it on YouTube or Twitch. I've always really liked Twitch and I'd love to do it on there. But to be honest, everyone, is kind of sub to me here. I might as well just do it on YouTube. It's all already pretty much set up. Whereas Twitch, I haven't even created an account. I'd have to go and set everything up. But yeah, I don't really know. Anyway, while I've just been ranting on about that, we've been upgrading the gold processing, because that was what was slowing down production of modules. There wasn't enough gold getting through. I think we were still on a yellow belt. So we've now got that all upgraded to green, all the way down to the production area. We've almost got all the belts upgraded to the sorting area as well, because there's quite a number of products that come through on that belt. So while we're doing all of this episode, I've been requesting all the little bits to produce the next tier of armor. One of the things I needed to do was take off my old armor and stick a load of stuff in the warehouse. But I don't know if this was a thing or I was just being stupid or what. I forgot to take all of the modules out of my power armor, so all the legs and the reactor. Then I crafted the new one, and it's clearly just consumed all those things. So for a moment there, we were running at the old normal speed again, which was absolutely horrific at normal speed. But yeah, pretty bad at 3 times speed as well. So we have the next tier of armor produced. But I need a few more things before we can produce the final tier. So currently we're just running around with a few of the Mark IV reactors and Mark III legs. I just chucked in 10 pairs. That seems to be more than enough. I'm actually running ridiculously fast now, too fast if anything. But yeah, it's great. The next tier of armor is done, and I haven't even got enough stuff to fill it. But we come and have a look at continuing placing out production of the other various things I need for the armor. We have a quick look on the map up north, just to make sure there's no caravans getting through, setting up new bases, because there's 2 blocks of turrets there that are no longer there, so a caravan could quite easily sneak through and start populating that whole area. So the next thing we get laid out is the shields, but we also start looking at what needs to be requested for the final tier of the power armor, Mark V power armor. So we start requesting those things just to make sure we get everything to be able to produce that, because I want to kind of just skip straight to it. We've got everything we need. And I have an even bigger fail than the last piece of power armor. I take it off and I've just got too much stuff in my inventory, which just explodes all over the floor. Then I start putting stuff in a warehouse that I'm actually requesting, which just starts getting me more of it, which gets very frustrating. So I have to try and cancel some things being requested. But we've got a stupid amount of Mark V lasers with us in the warehouse. But yeah, they'll get used up very soon. But yeah, there we go. We have the final tier of power armor produced. I put in 3 of the Mark IV reactors for now and a load of the legs again. But we need to get some shields in there. But there's so much space in this power armor. Yeah, plenty of room for different things that we need. I even start contemplating whether I'll actually need 2 pairs, one with a stupid number of roboports and the other more designed for combat. Because, even with these highest tier of shields, I only need like 6 of them, and the biters literally can't even run down the shield bar. But we'll have a look at that in a bit. I add even more legs, because if this is going to be my combat suit and I have a different one, I want this one to be pretty fast so I can get around nice and quickly. I won't need too many shields to protect myself. I'm not sure how many reactors we'll need, but I do get some batteries set up in a bit, because it is nice having batteries as a buffer, and it gives you a good idea of how much power you're actually using. But we have another cleanup of my inventory, which, to be honest, I probably should have done before making the power armor rather than after, so we wouldn't have had that item bomb. But yeah, we get a load of stuff cleared up out of there again while we would just wait for a few shields to be produced. But we go for 8 of the Mark 6 shields just to see if that's going to be enough. But I find out later on, as we'll see in a minute, that, yeah, it's more than enough. And I could probably take a few out, which is why I said 6 a minute ago. But yeah, the suit's absolutely fantastic. It's lovely and fast. And I think maybe 3 reactors is enough. I don't know. I think I come and add another one later on. But I'll have a play around. I'll do a test in the middle. Maybe create a second one with loads more roboports. But we shall see. We also take a look at why we've not got certain artifacts in the system. And I missed out something in the artifact science bit. I didn't put in a passive provider to feed production of those normal artifacts from small ones back into the logistics system. So we get that put in because we're going to need a lot of them around here. And we actually run out of certain types of artifacts, which seems a bit crazy. I thought I'd been collecting an absurd amount of them throughout the game, but I don't think I ever put a limit on the alien science vials. So I think a load of them have been used up there, so I should probably go and put that in. And luckily, a beacon fits perfectly in there because there's only 3 tiers of legs, and that covers absolutely all of these products. So that's kind of a bit lucky there. I honestly didn't plan that out. Actually, I think I may have done all of the alien sciences, so I could probably take that area out, but I'll check first before taking it out. If it's not finished yet, I'll leave it in. If it is, I may just delete it, but I need to go and check if there's any limits on those. So we come and collect a bit of piercing ammo, a bit more tier 5 sniper turrets, and we head up in our lovely new speedy suit at some ridiculous rate and come and upgrade these defense blocks. To be honest, this is kind of a bit it's a bit late because we're not going to need this now. I mean, there's next episode and then none of this is going to need to be here because the episode after 59 is going to be clearing all of that area. In fact, I could probably even do the clearing in episode 59 now, going back on what I was saying earlier about the live stream in episode 60. But yeah, I'll just go with the flow, see how it goes, and see what happens. But we get all of these upgraded for now. I could probably upgrade the ones here at Saffrite. Past me clearly didn't think of that, because all he wanted to do was go and run in the fields of Candy Floss. Why not? It looks so lovely, and I'm running so fast. It was a lot of fun. Another thing we come and check is this defense wall here, just to make sure none of it's been damaged. I could have upgraded the laser turrets, but to be honest, none of them are damaged, so there's no real point. We also got a new radar in there. So the last bit of the episode, I just wanted to sort out this bit of defense here, because we've nearly got all of our perimeter sorted, apart from up near Saffrite and the lake just southeast of Saffrite that needs doing as well, but that's quite a small bottleneck, and again, it's not really been a problem area. This area is just absurdly long overdue. It's just never really been an issue, so I've never really had to prioritize it and sort it out. We might as well get it in, and I bring it forward just so we incorporate this coal, just in case we ever need to access this patch. I probably don't think we'll need to, but there's no harm in bringing it forward to incorporate that anyway. We also give the combat robots a test again after we've done a few upgrades, but we also test out the laser over the defense ones, and again, my theories with them is kind of correct. They died a lot easier than the Destroyer Jones because they're just getting targeted more frequently by spitters and stuff, because they often fly in front of you when going into a base, and spitters and worms always target the first thing that comes into range. As long as it doesn't go out of range, they continue to target it. So yeah, we put out some laser ones and then some destroyers. A lot of the lasers got destroyed, whereas the destroyers were still left there afterwards. I did deploy even more, so we might as well carry on, keep using the ones I've got. But I needed to come back to grab some construction robots because I went out with hardly any. I think I lost some with the whole palaver of changing power armor. But yeah, we come back and grab some more, and I start laying out the laser turrets. But the blueprint wasn't exactly right. It was leaving a gap where I didn't want it. So I kind of need to update that in Foreman. But I took a copy of how I wanted it, but I never actually added it to Foreman, which was a tiny bit stupid. But we're getting most of that wall laid out. We just have to take care of a few biter and splitter bases just so that they're not constantly attacking the walls. But yeah, also just to have a bit of fun with the flamer and the new suit. But you can see they're not even bringing up the shield bar, let alone starting to deplete it. So we're pretty untouchable by biters, and it seems a bit crazy that I now have become essentially invincible. I could just go running through fields of biters for as long as I like, and they don't seem to be able to even scratch me. I kind of find the changes in warfare, I don't really like them. It's too easy. So before, the projectiles would auto track, and the faster you ran and the longer you ran, the projectile would continue to follow you and gradually speed up and up and up until it would inevitably catch you up. But now they seem to sort of be not tracking projectiles. They just kind of fly at you, and if you move quickly and you're not where they land, then they don't do any damage, which it means you hardly ever get hit when you're running this fast, and it only really seems to be a problem for stationary defenses, because they do seem to do more damage in turn of not being tracking like the way they are. But yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about that change. I don't know if anyone else has played with it yet, because I only updated it a few episodes ago. But we finish off the episode just giving the roboports a test and the item for marking objects on the ground. I could probably fit a few more roboports, and I'm not sure where my issue is if I haven't got enough roboports for charging or enough of the items for marking stuff on the ground. But yeah, this may be where I need a second suit so that this is even faster, with just hardly any shields, some just in case I get hit by a train, mostly roboports and the item markers, or whatever they're called. I can't remember their exact name, but the bots are working very well for clearing up those old defenses. They get cleared up very nicely. And I think I had to come and grab... Yeah, I come and decide to add one more reactor because we've slightly not got enough power. Looks like I add the same number of shields again, and maybe a few more roboports. But some batteries as well, just as a buffer. As it's always nice knowing if you're using more than your reactors are capable of. And to be honest, batteries have a ridiculous amount of capacity. So I could probably lose one of those reactors and add 4 more roboports, I think is the space for reactor. But yeah, I'll work that out. I've always been a bit indecisive about the ratio of items in my power armor, but having this many legs means I can just get anywhere, you know, very, very, very quickly. And I decide to end the episode just standing here and checking out how the item markers really work. Just make sure there is power getting into the batteries. But yeah, I forgot there was a roboport up here, so I start testing the, you know, how well this suit clears up the artifacts, because I still do need to clean up a lot of artifacts. And I think it could still be improved. I just need to work out exactly what I need to add more of to my power armor. And I think it's just power and more roboports for the construction robots to charge. But yeah, the roboport does start help picking up the items as well. But never mind. All this candy floss will be cleaned up eventually. We'll clear this area, and none of these defenses will really need to be here. So yeah, live stream on Saturday, like I said last episode. Need to do a test for it and work out exactly what I'm going to do. Whether episode 60 will be a part of that or be done just before. If anyone has anything to persuade me one way or the other, then yeah, just leave us a comment. But that's going to be all we have time for. I do hope you have enjoyed, and thank you so much for watching. But please do come and join me next episode. Bye-bye.